So Handling the Undead is such a unique film and approach to its genre or its concept. It's very much a film about grief. Thea, obviously you adapted a book for this, but for your feature directorial debut, why were you so drawn to this material?
I think it was mostly, the whole world of Undead Delinquents is amazing, and it's this how it blends the social realism with genre is what really attracts me, I think, and the atmosphere, and I just fell in love with the characters as well, and how it was like unsettling and heartbreaking at the same time.
It unfolds slowly, in terms of what we learn about what the characters are going through, what your character, Renate, is going through. And she's just suffered a heartbreaking tragedy as the film opens. Could you describe a little bit of what her headspace is, what she's thinking, what she's feeling as the film opens?
Yeah, what really moved me about that character is that she's kind of closed off, and she doesn't really know how to connect to her grief or her surroundings even. So that what happens in the movie when she gets another chance to be with her son, but he's not alive and he's not dead. That kind of, through that hope of what it could be, she kind of opens up and accepts the situation, and she connects to her emotion, and then she's able to actually let it go through that. So I was very moved by that character.
And it's also so moving, the relationship between your character and her father as well, what her father is trying to do for her.
Yeah.
How would you describe that dynamic?
Yeah, we had actually a lot of background story for that. So much, actually. And it got less and less. And the audition that we did, it was so much text. But I think I now have 3 lines in the movie. Oops. But I love that. I love having no lines. But yeah, it was kind of, they kind of met at the end, where she's kind of opened up, and then finally, in the moment that he passes, she actually knows what she feels about him. Yeah.
I think in describing the film to this point, Thea, you haven't really used the Z word, zombie, too much.
Z word.
But and I don't know how much you want to lean into that genre element of
what
this.
What genre? No.
Yeah, the zombie genre, and but what's interesting to me, and I've thought of this while watching zombie films in the past, is there is a real opportunity there to confront death, to confront grieving, and this is the dead come back to life, but not completely. And it's a be careful what you wish for situation always. What did you see what did you see as the possibility of the genre to explore some of these deeper issues that usually the genre doesn't explore?
Yeah, I think maybe I'm not actually so into zombie films, but this one felt like something completely different to me, and how he in the book also used the undead as more like a visual explanation of grief, kind of. So that was what attracted me, and how we can use something, I don't know, like supernatural to make it more specific, like the feelings that I'm talking about. But that was very...
I got everything.
Yeah.
I understood.
Yeah. So, so I think also, but it was also important to know what the genre was, and to also subvert the genre tropes at points. And I was also thinking that it should work for those who have seen a lot of zombie films as well, and you would expect different things while it's like happening and unfolding through the film. But then also, I feel like it's really a zombie film for people that don't like zombie films.
I mean, Renate, when your character gets her son back, those scenes are full of, hope and a degree of optimism, even though we know that it's not going to pan out, it's not going to last. How did you create a connection for your character with her child, and when the child is in a very different state?
Well, there is one specific moment in the movie that we didn't plan on, or it's kind of a mistake where I didn't want to see the doll. The boy? Yeah, it's a hybrid. It's a boy and a doll with CGI, so it's we say boy, but and it's very, very well made, and so they kind of hid it from me, and I wanted to have just my first reaction from seeing him, she was supposed to be like stale and help and be confused, but still a little angry with her dad for bringing him back. But yeah, that reaction was very sincere, and just seeing a child in that state, of course, will bring those emotions very naturally. So it was easy with the work of him that made the doll, and the script also, and the story, and that kind of made the whole set always have this vibe of it was a strange place to be.
The fact that it was a doll, adds this degree of rigidity and this kind of mechanical quality that emphasizes the fact that this child is not the same, even if he appears to be alive again. So if you could talk a little bit about the making of the doll, that's interesting.
Yeah.
How did you create that?
First we really wanted to use a real child, but then we did a lot of tests with the real child, and we just found that it was like a child is too alive to be half dead. So we needed to think in different ways, and it's hard to put on too much prosthetics on a child because they cannot work for that long. So then, we found a boy, which we used in some of the scenes, and then our great SFX makeup artist, he made this amazing doll that looks perfect, and that's what you see in the film. And then we also had some doll puppeteers that made him move and added some VFX and mixed him with the child. Yeah.
Renate, where do you see your career going? Where do you hope, do you hope to do, more English language films in the time ahead? I love the fact that you made another Norwegian film, that you I heard you speaking Norwegian here right now. You obviously have a lot of pride in your culture, but do you want to go to Hollywood down the road, or what do you think?
Yeah, I love working internationally and working in America. But the thing is, it's so many great things happening in Norway right now. So I'm very proud to be a part of that. I feel it's kind of moving into something very progressive, and it's new voices coming out, and it feels like a very inspired culture for movies right now. So I would love to do both.